Hey y'all, how you doing? Gonna be doing some more air conditioning work today. I remember I said I was in a hurry and I didn't want to do the circulation method of descaling our salon air conditioner because I was in a hurry. Well, old Murphy got me on that one. So we'll be showing you that method today, as my pickling did not get enough scale out to keep the air conditioner from going press high. So the first thing we're going to do is pull up the floor and get into the salon bilge here, and then we'll drain out the raw water system back in the engine room again, and then we'll take off the hoses and get the circulation going. So first things, got to pull up the carpet protectors here, and then that exposes the hatch to the salon air conditioner, the salon bilge. As you can see, fortunately our boat always seems to have had carpet protectors. While the carpet is flat, it is very clean and in great shape. So we just pull this hatch out of the way, and there you go. There's the salon air conditioner. You saw it in the last video. Those two white lines are the seawater in and out lines. So this one supplies it, and this one sends it back out of the boat. What we'll do is we'll drain that system out to keep as much salt water from getting inside here as possible. We'll have a shop vac to suck that up as it comes out. And then we will probably go reverse flow. As you can see, there's the flow arrow. We will probably go reverse flow on that to go against the grain of anything that's inside there. I should be able to use my borescope to get some before and after pictures. So we'll get you some more pictures here as we go, and hopefully this will help you out. All right, y'all, as usual, here we are down in the bilge, closing the air conditioner seacock again. And this time we're gonna try to limit the mess a little bit by using our valve in the top of the sea strainer to suck water up out of the system before we get it all inside. So we're using our shop vac here, and we'll open up that valve and suck up the water. All right, so the next step is I'm going to drain this a little bit more, and I'm going to pull out the sea strainer again and suck as much water all the way out of here so we get it less in the salon. So very much like the sea strainer video, so I'm not going to run you through that again, but I'll show you when it's all dried out. Okay, sea strainer's all cleaned out. You can see the basket we cleaned the last time, and then there we'll probably get a rag in there, clean up all that glass once we're done. And then so we're going to go inside now, and we were going to get those hoses off of that air conditioning unit. Okay, folks, we have the hose clamps off. The next thing is getting these hoses off. Oftentimes they're on there pretty good, and sometimes you can just get them to break loose by sliding a screwdriver into the edge so it breaks that surface friction, and then that hose will come loose. But they're on there pretty good once they've been on there for a few months or weeks, and then once you break that surface tension, you can give it a little bit of a twist. See, there she goes. Not hardly any seawater at all, which is a huge win for us. That's because we drained it out of the engine room and out of that sea strainer first. So I'm going to do the same thing on the other one that's down there that you can see, and that one may have some seawater in it because that's the in, not the out. But then we'll get a before and after picture inside of the pipe. I don't know if this will do very well, but there you go. So I actually have a borescope that I'll take the pictures with, and then we'll edit them into the video. But pretty dark in there, obviously not anything that you're going to be able to see. So next thing we'll be mixing up and hooking up the flush. Okay, double check that all the air conditioners are off on my switches, so the seawater pump doesn't start up and the air conditioner doesn't start up. I've hooked up the hoses. You can see I'm actually going backwards. So this lower hose right here is the one that goes to the pump, and this upper hose right here, or excuse me, the upper hose goes to the pump, the lower hose is coming out. That is the opposite of the air conditioner's flow, and what that'll do is go against the grain. Obviously water smooth things over, so we're going to go against the flow to force the circulation to work a little bit better. That's not necessary, but it's just something I'm going to do. So next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to mix up the descaler, and then we'll go ahead and turn it on, and then we just have a wait. Alright, so we have the descaler all mixed up. Next thing we're going to do is plug this in and make sure there's no leaks, and then we're just going to leave it alone for a few hours and let it do its thing. So I'm plugging it in here. Hear the pump come on. You see the air bubbles pushing through. And now what we see, and you can actually see it, even the gunk already coming out. Look at that. So this is a much more effective way to do this than just doing the pickle method that I showed you earlier. And what we're going to do is you can actually even see the color difference as it reacts with that salt. And just the gunk and scale are coming out pretty rapidly. So what we're going to see is all of this stuff change color, and you can see the floaties and whatnot in there. We should be able to skim most of those floaties off. And then at the end we'll let this thing run for a few hours, and obviously because I use these clear hoses, we can see what's coming in and coming out. So I don't see any leaks here. Obviously we won't leave it for too long the way it is, but pretty simple way. This is a little more complex than the pickle method, a little more time involved, and you only can do one air conditioner at a time, at least on our boat. If you had a common return line, you could probably get away with multiples. But ultimately, this is what we're going to do. As you can see, I put down protection everywhere on our nice clean carpet. I use the diapers we have. We always keep oil absorbent pads or diapers on the boat. And now we're just going to monitor this until that line is clear. And then we'll get you the after picture of what the tube looked like. Because we also have the before, and we'll make sure we get that into the video. Talk to y'all soon. Hey y'all, about an hour in on this. As you can see, it's gotten a lot less blue as it's starting to eat that stuff up. Obviously there was some dirt in the water. Not nearly as many chunks coming out, so we've probably gotten the majority of the dirt out, which you can see, but then you can also still see a difference in color. And what I've always noticed is that difference in color is because the returned descaler has done its job, right? And it absorbs this certain amount of calcium. And the way you check this while it's running is you can actually check a shell in there to make sure you've done it, but there's no way we've entirety of the capability of that descaler. So we're going to keep letting that run. Don't want to do this again, so we're going to go 2-3 hours on this sucker, and then we'll come back and pull it apart and take a look inside the tube. Hey y'all, after about 4 hours of circulating, we actually checked it at 2 and it wasn't ready. We put everything back together. Obviously, because the air conditioner was below the bucket, we spilled some of the descaler. So what you'll see here, I've rinsed it with fresh water. Obviously, the majority of that fresh water goes into the AC catch pan, but then we have the shop vac over here. We'll go ahead and vacuum out this bilge once we're done, but I'm going to actually crank up the AC and make sure that we got the scale out of this thing. First, I got to go back into the engine room and put the sea strainer back together. All right, y'all, back in the engine room. Going to put the sea strainer back together, open the sea cock, turn on the air conditioner, and get this thing running. So first thing is to get the sea cock back. So to put the sea cock basket back in, it's actually a post in the bottom there. Make sure it sits in it. All we're going to do is slide this guy back up on top. As you've heard me say before, I'm going to need 2 hands, so I'll be right back with you after we open the seacock. Alright, top's back on, seacock's back open. We'll let the water back in, since we can do that with our valve to help prime the pumps. There's the seawater coming in, so we know our sea cock is full again. I'm going to run inside and we'll crank up the AC and make sure we have no leaks. Alright, so air conditioner's going again. You hear the pump running down there. You can hear this air conditioner running here, so we're going to do a leak check. Obviously, we now have seawater flowing through here. We'll dry everything up. But obviously, we got a little fresh water in here when we washed it. I feel like we've had some success here. That is far less hot than it was before we did this. So now we're just making sure we're not leaking any seawater. We'll get the shop vac out here and clean up all the water in the bilge, and then we'll probably let it run with it open this evening and see how she does. So more to follow. Oh, hey y'all. So AC's up and running. So far so good. Everything's looking good. I got my trusty headlamp on so I can see where I'm cleaning. Get down here into the AC bay. Obviously still a little bit of water. But I'm pretty confident that we vacuumed most of that out. Right there, you can actually see the shower pan. That shower pan is where all the condensate goes. There was an old shower pan in there. You can see all the RTV or sealant I put in there when I replaced it to fill up the holes. Obviously, you don't want the water going below your bilge paint. That being said, here we are. Salon air conditioner, the big one, 16,000 BTUs, now running. Leaks are looking good. So we don't see any real issues in here. We'll obviously check it again after running and after it's been hot and cold a few times, because anytime anything gets hot and cold, oftentimes it leaks. So we'll give it a nice snug up, but right now I feel like we've solved the problem. I could argue that I should have just done it this way to begin with, but I was hoping I could get away with a quick fix. Not today, but we did the recirculation. We have people on the boat tomorrow, so we'll be ready to go, and we won't have to explain why only 2 or 3 air conditioners are working. So if this was helpful for y'all, please hit subscribe, hit the bell, so you don't miss any more of our other videos. Talk to y'all soon.